All right, part 2 of Daniel chapter 9 study. Now, previous quick refresh, we looked yesterday at Daniel was doing some study of his own, figured out that they were in Babylon captivity for their own sins, and it was prophesied in Jeremiah. And he repents in sackcloth and ashes and prays to God, confesses the sins of his people, and God determines, well, I'm going to give him his own prophecy. And he gives him his own prophecy about 70 weeks being determined, verse 24 there. And then it says here, from the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, 62 weeks. And that's 69 weeks. And so 69 weeks, we're going to look at on this timeline here, how that will be very, very close from when Nehemiah was told to rebuild Jerusalem to when Messiah, Jesus Christ the Prince, came. Now, you have to understand, in the Bible, a day can be a year when it's speaking prophetically. For example, you've got 2 cross-references here, and forgive my horrible writing, Ezekiel 4:5 and Numbers 14:34. So in Numbers 14:34, for example, they search out the promised land for 40 years. They don't believe God. And God says, for every day you searched out the promised land, 40 days, sorry, for every day it'll be a year that you wander in the wilderness. A day for a year is a terminology, he says. So when God's speaking prophetically, a day can be a year. Ezekiel's 4:5 is very similar. He's told to lie on his side, and every day he laid on his side was a year prophetically for the prophecy to come to pass that God was speaking about. So here we have 69 weeks. Now, a week is made up of 7 days. And I guess I should have done the mathematics beforehand. But let's try to see how bad I am at mathematics. 70 times 7 is 490. And then minus 7 is 483. It's 483. Now, that's from the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto Messiah the Prince. Now, I'm going to just show off a bit more show and tell. Something else I bought the other day. This amazing chart. It's called Adam's Timeline and Map of History or something like that. And it's an 8-foot long chart that is just phenomenal. It shows all of human history from Adam and Eve. I'll zoom in a little bit and just I'll show you the whole thing because I'm pretty stoked with it. And as you're going through biblical history, you're getting told about the way that weapons were progressing and ancient numerals and stuff like that progressing and stoneware. It's awesome. I'll put up a link if I remember. This thing is amazing to have. So you just go through all the history. It starts to branch off in different tribes of Israel and how they go out in their tribes and their people. Along. Babylonian captivity comes up. That's the city of Babylon. And it just goes on and on and on and on, all the way up to the 1900s, I think, is where it finishes with the United States presidents there, and etc. etc. It's a great resource. But let's find, I had to mark it with a pen because I couldn't find it, the commandment to rebuild Jerusalem. Jerusalem taken, this is at Jeconiah, that's that last king. He got his J-E taken off his name and God called him Coniah, because that J-E refers to Jehovah, Jesus. Jerusalem taken, the temple burnt, walls and city destroyed, Zedekiah's eyes put out and his thousands taken. Babylon, 588 BC, they're taken to Babylon. They're in Babylon for 70 years, that'd be 518 BC, that they were there. And see here, decree to rebuild Jerusalem issued by Cyrus. So we've got Nebuchadnezzar here and his sons, Evil Merodach, Belshazzar with Daniel, and then Cyrus takes over and he sends Zerubbabel, Joshua, Joachim, Ezra and Nehemiah. And Nehemiah is sent back. See that date there? 433. Now, Zerubbabel sent up by Cyrus, 536 BC, to rebuild the temple. And that's what I was talking about. There's 2 possible things. Nehemiah is sent later to rebuild the city. So we were told 69 weeks, which is 483 years. And we can see that before Christ, that's very close. I haven't got the numbers right here. There's so much information here. But that shows that the years are very close from the time Nehemiah was told to go and rebuild Jerusalem to Jesus was very, very, oh, here we go, here it is. Decree to rebuild Jerusalem issued by Cyrus 536. Now, that's not exactly the 483, absolutely, I agree. But it's pretty blooming close. And you have to remember that this is all just man's best efforts at mapping out history. God knows the calendar best. But anyway, I thought that was just interesting. I wanted to show off my little timeline chart. And we're already at 5 minutes again, so we'll do a part 3. 70 weeks are determined. 69 weeks, which are 483 years, are from the building Jerusalem to Messiah the Prince. And and then next we'll look at the last prophecy in this amazing book, which is about the Antichrist. But we'll look at that tomorrow. 6 minutes now. So hopefully that was encouraging to you. Why we're looking at this in a bit more detail, because as we saw in verse 2, God deals with the book and with numbers. And the things he says will come to pass. See, when you're reading the book of Revelation, a lot of people think it's already come to pass. It has not. There are a lot of things in there that are yet to come to pass, and we'll look at that tomorrow. God bless you.